Hello and welcome to this presentation on the Power Analyzer by Keysight. This tool can really support your PCB design, especially when you are designing switch mode power supplies or hungry digital circuits like FPGA or anything related with a high speed, and you want to avoid any issues related with the signal integrity or voltage drops across your power delivery network. So this tool can really help you and save your day. Let's start from a very simple example first. That would be as easy as 3 resistors with 12 ohm resistance and a 12 volt power connector. And here's the PCB created just for this demonstration. And let's now set up the PDN tool, the Power Analyzer by Keysight. We just click it, and it can sense that we are having a 12 volt connector together with 3 resistors. However, it's not always as simple as that, because when the circuit is simple as I have presented you just a second ago, it can sense it and it can create a configuration with just the one click of a button. We can see it on the 3 level that we have 3 resistors connected in parallel, connected to a voltage source. However, I will show you how to do it manually. So once again, Tools, Power Analyzer by Keysight, and Manage Nets. First of all, let's manage nets, then let's do the configuration. We want to observe 12 volt. And we want to add as a source the J100. This is the connector that we are concerning as a source. The loads, we have 3 loads, and each of the load will be 12 ohms. Resistance, you can also configure it, not always as a resistor. You can have an integrated circuit here. You can have anything actually, even a connector, even a pin, even a screw terminal, whatever. And you can set this component to be current source, resistor, or a regulator, a switch mode regulator, for example. Here we have the representation of this resistor. We can change it to a current source. However, resistor is not a current source, so we want to have it as a resistor. 12 volts comes in. We have the reference to ground, and the connected to the component is connected to reference through R1, or the 12 volt is connected through R1 to GND. Configuration, here you can set your constraints related with the current densities and vias densities, work temperature. You can change the copper type as per your design. We want to use the ground, we don't want to skip the ground. And actually, this is all we need to analyze, to begin the analysis. We can, of course, get back to the tree view. Now it's exactly the same as in the automated way of tree design with just the one click of a button. And now one click of a button will give us an insight to a current densities that we can observe. Of course, we have passed positive result regarding the PCB design. The voltage drop is low. The current density is the peak current density is 62.3 amps. Let's see it on the PCB. Yes, so this is what we have here. And you can always switch off the heat map, and I want to switch it off because I want to explain one detail. I have made this trace 1 millimeter wide. The second one is 0.5 millimeters, so it's half the size. Half the thickness, half the width, not the thickness. I will discuss the thickness in a second. And this one is 2 millimeters. So from the current density point of view, having the same thickness, which is 35 micrometers, it's a 1 ounce copper here. Let's just open this. Let's just see it on the layer stack manager. Yes, we have 1 ounce copper, 0.035 millimeters, which is 35 micrometers. And those 2 traces, those 3 traces, they just differ by a width. Okay, so let's just add a probe on the trace, which is a 1 millimeter thick. as this is a 1 millimeter thick trace and it has a 35 micrometers of a thickness, so it's 1 millimeter wide, sorry, it's 1 millimeter wide by 0.035 millimeters thick. So what's the cross section? Well, we just multiply it and we get 0.035 millimeters square, or 35 micrometers square. And as I mentioned before, there are 12 ohms resistor, 12 volt power supply, so there is a 1 ampere of current flowing through this trace, flowing to the second trace, and that trace as well. So we can just divide 1 ampere by 35 micrometers square. So 1 divided by 0.35. I'm using my calculator, sorry, I cannot present you this, but if you can do this math on your side as well. So we get 28.5 ampere. Here we get a bit lower value. I don't know what's the root cause, but it's close enough. If we add a second probe on the trace, one trace above, which is half the width of the previous trace, we get double the value. Okay, so this simulator works pretty well. We can of course observe, I wanted to present you the arrows of current density. So it's like a stream of water that flows through these traces and then goes directly into the path. From this side, the current density is much higher because it has the lowest resistance to a point when the resistor is connected. The same is here. You see, we can assume that this is the high pressure water stream that then dissipates or reduces its pressure because it has much more copper, or the pipe size is really high, really wide, and then again it increases the pressure or the current density from the point which is the closest to the input of this current stream, and it flows to the resistor. Okay, let's change the stack up to something really robust. 1 millimeter copper. Let's save it. The PDN, or the power analyzer, will inform us that the geometry is outdated. Of course it's outdated because the stack up is changed. And let's analyze once again. Now the voltage drop is really low, because now we are having something that's having 1 millimeter copper trace. The thickness of the copper, sorry, is 1 millimeter. Can we see it in this view? Yes, you can see that it's a big bar of copper, especially here. I don't know if you can have this easily designed or manufactured. Probably there are some companies that can really support this kind of designs. However, what we are interested now is, again, the current densities. As you can see, the highest current density got as low as 2 amperes, 2.19. Let's get back to our probes. Oh, those are not refreshed. Will it refresh if I show? No, I need to remove those or do the analysis once again. Because now what we expect, we expect a 1 ampere or 2 amperes of current density, as the trace thickness got from 35 micrometers up to a 1 millimeter. Let's put the one probe here. Let's see the result. Yes, it's 2 amps, and the one below should be 1 amp. Yes, and this trace is 2 millimeter, if I remember correctly, 2 millimeters wide. Let's add a third probe. First, let's enable the heat map. Let's add the probe. And it's a half ampere here. As you can see, this trace is not long enough, or well, it's short, and we are also having a bends here, as you can see also on this trace, that the current is just cutting corners here as well as here. For the high frequency and, for example, a transmission line, we will have all the return current flowing just below the transmission line, and in this case the current looks for the lowest resistance to return or to flow. So okay, this is what I wanted to present you. Here we have also the ground. You can observe the ground densities. And I think that concludes this video, this tutorial, very simple tutorial. Have a great day and hope to speak to you soon. Bye.